Welcome to Free English Grammar Lessons. Today in this video, we will learn how to convert interrogative sentences from direct speech to indirect speech. This is the part 3 of indirect and direct speech conversion. So in this video, we will talk about the types of interrogative sentences first. Then we will learn later on how to change or convert assertive or statement from direct speech to indirect speech. And we will also learn its logic, how to change from direct speech to indirect speech in the sentence. We will also go through various types of examples, and also I will provide you some exercises to practice. The video might be very long, but if you watch it, you will learn a lot. So please watch it till the end. So let's get started. So first of all, we will talk about what is an interrogative sentence. So interrogative sentences are that ask a question. It is punctuated at the end of the sentence with a question mark. Generally, there are two types of questions: direct questions, and the other is yes or no types of questions. In the direct questions, most of the question begins with a question word that are from the English words, like, so to say, WH questions. So some of them are who, what, why, when, where, and how. Let me give you an example to understand. Why is the sky blue? So you will notice here the sentence begins with a question word why. Now let us look to the another type of question, which is called yes or no types of question. So it begins with helping verbs followed by the subject. Some of the words are is, am, are, was, were, do, did. These types of questions are designed to answer only with yes or no. So let me give you an example to understand. Are you coming to the party? So here you will notice that it is beginning with a helping verb are, and thus the answer also comes only yes or no. So dear learners, please remember these two types of questions that we are going to come it back in the last. So dear learners, now let us relearn again, that means revise again how to convert or the steps to convert a direct speech to indirect speech of an assertive or a statement sentences. Dear friends, so before knowing how to convert, we should remember some of the few steps or few things that we should know it. So there are three basic concepts to know in the conversion. The first one, what is subject and object in the sentence? What is first person, second person, and the third person in a sentence? And the third is what is tense. Dear learners, we have discussed this in the previous video, but we will quickly revise it again in this video. Some of the links are there in our description. Please go and now check it again. Now let's discuss what is subject and object in the sentence. Sajia said to John. Here Sajia is the subject who is doing the action, and John is the object who is receiving the action. The person who does the action is the subject, and the person who receives the action is the object. Please remember it. Now let us try to understand what is first person, second person, and the third person. So for that, we should learn what is the point of view. Basically, there are three points of view in an English grammar. There are first person, second person, and the third person. Let's try to understand it with an example. If Ravi and Isha are in the room, and Ravi is telling something to Isha about Nikita, which is not present in the room, then Ravi is the first person in this case who is speaking, and Ishita is the second person who is receiving the action from the Ravi, and Nikita is the third person who was not present in the room while they were talking. So Ravi may be telling to Ishita like this: I am telling you that she is very beautiful. For the complete chart of the first person, second person, and the third person, please refer to this image carefully. Now let's look into tense. Here, tense denotes time in which the action is performed. Tenses are basically divided into three parts. They are present tense, past tense, and future tense. And they are basically divided into subtypes again, into four types. They are simple, continuous, perfect, perfect continuous. So in total, there are 12 tenses in grammar. So dear learners, please pay attention to it. And if you want to learn more, I will put the links in the description, all about tenses. Dear learners, now let us learn the steps to convert direct speech to indirect speech, the 6 steps of assertive sentence. The first step is to identify. So in this step, you will have to learn the 5 steps of identifying subject, object, reporting verb, first person, second person and the third person in the reported speech. And if the reporting verb is in the past tense, then we will look into the tense of the reporting verb. Second step is the change of reporting verb. Reporting verb will change in the following way. Said to will be converted to told, said will converted to said to will be converted to tell, says to will be converted to tells. Third step is to replace the inverted commas with a conjunction that. We will remove the inverted commas of the reported speech and we will join them with a conjunction that. The fourth step is the change of pronouns. So, the pronouns that we have identified in the previous chart or the previous image will be changed in this way. First person will be decided as per subject. Second person will be decided as per object. And the third person will remain unchanged. You can remember this method of change with an acronym word called SON. So, dear learners, please remember the change of pronouns properly. So, accordingly, first person will be converted to subject, second person will be converted to object and the third person will have no change. The fifth step is the change of tense. So, it will happen only when reported verb is in the past tense form and when reported speech is not a universal truth or habit. So, let us look in details now. For the present tense, simple present will be converted to simple past. Present continuous will be converted to past continuous. Present perfect will be converted to past perfect. Present perfect continuous tense will be converted to past perfect continuous. And for the past tense, simple past will be converted to past perfect. Past continuous will be converted to past perfect continuous. Past perfect continuous tense has no change. Then for the future tense, will or shall used in the sentence will be replaced by would or should. And for the modal words in the sentences of like can and may will be converted to could and might. So, these are the changes of the tense that will take place. And finally, the last step is change of word denoting time. Words showing nearness in the sentences will be changed to words showing distances in the indirect speech. If these words are present in the reported speech and if the reporting verb is in the past tense, then the changes will take place in this way. Here will be converted to there, tomorrow will be converted to the next day, today will be converted to that day, yesterday will be converted to the previous day, this will be converted to that, now will be converted to then, tonight will be converted to that night. So, friends, this is the 6-step formula to convert any sentences of assertive sentences from direct to indirect sentences. Identify the subject, object, reporting verb, person and the tense in the sentence. Second step is change of reporting verb in this way. And the third is replacement of inverted commas with a conjunction word that. Fourth, change of pronoun in this format. And the fifth is change of tenses in this format. And the sixth is change of time related words in the reported speech in this way. Now, there are 3 important changes to remember when we are given interrogative sentences to convert. Rest all things remain the same. First, change of reporting verb. Number 2, replacement of inverted commas. And the number 3 is conversion of question into a statement. As I have told you, there are 3 major changes which are change of reporting verb, replacement of inverted commas and the additional step of change of question to statement. So, let us learn them in details with full examples. Change of reporting verb for questions. Said or said to will be converted to ask. Says or says to will be converted to ask. And say or say to will also be converted to ask. Apart from the given above, we may use reported verbs like inquire, suggest, inform and many other. If already ask or ask is present, then we don't need to change the reporting verb. Number 2, replace the inverted commas. In case of direct question, we will replace the inverted commas with question word. We don't need any other additional conjunction here. But in the case of yes or no type questions, we will replace the inverted commas with if or whether. Now let's learn the additional step, which is step 7 of the conversion, that is conversion of question into a statement or assertive sentence. Please remember to replace the question mark with a full stop after the sentence. Dear learners, now let us go through the step 7, which is an additional step in full details and with some examples to understand. For example, she said to me, "What are you doing now?" Step 1 is to identify. Here, she is the subject, me is the object, and you is the second person, and said to is the reporting verb. So here, said to is in the past form, so we need to check the tense in the reported speech. Here the tense is present continuous. Step 2 is to change the reporting verb. Said to will become asked here. Step 3 to replace the inverted commas with what, as it is a direct question. So the sentence will become like this: she asked me what. Step 4 is change of pronoun. Here the you is second person and the object is me. So you will be converted to I. Step 5 is the change of tense. Here the tense is present continuous. So it will be converted to past continuous tense. So are doing will be converted to was doing. Step 6 is the change of word denoting time. Here now word will be converted to then. So after step 6, the sentence will become like this: what was I doing then? Now the additional step is the conversion of question into a statement. It will be what I was doing then. Notice the placement of the verbs or the tense has been changed, and the question mark has been replaced by full stop or a period. Thus after this step 7, we get the outcome of indirect sentence, which is she asked me what I was doing then. Dear learners, I hope you have understood all the 7 steps that I have shown here. Now let's look into another more example to understand. Ram said, "Shyam, where did you go yesterday?" So let us apply the 7-step formula here. The first step is to identify. Ram is the subject, Shyam is the object, and said is the past tense of the reporting verb. And since this reporting verb is in the past tense, so we have to check the tenses of the reported speech. So here the tense is simple past. Step 2 is the change of reporting verb. Said will become asked here. Step 3 is to replace the inverted commas with where, as the sentence is in a direct question. The sentence will become like this: Ram asked Shyam where. The fourth step is change of pronoun. Here you is the second person and the object is Shyam, so you will be converted to he. Next step is change of tense in the reported speech. Here the reported speech is in the simple past, so it will be converted to past perfect. Did go will be converted to had gone. Step 6 is the change of word denoting time. Here yesterday will be converted to the previous day. Now the last step is to convert the question into a statement. Thus finally, after the 6th step, the reported speech after the conversion will become like this: where had he gone the previous day? Now converting the question into a statement, it will be where he had gone the previous day. Thus the final converted sentence is Ram asked Shyam where he had gone the previous day. Dear learners, now let's look again to the another more example. He said to her, "Will you listen to such a person?" Step 1 is to identify. He is the subject and her is the object, and said to is the reporting verb. And as said to is in the past tense form, so we need to check the tense of the reported speech. Here the tense is simple future. Step 2, change of reporting verb. Here said to will be changed to asked. Step 3 is replacement of inverted commas with if, as it is a yes or no type question. So the sentence will become like this: he asked her if. Next step is change of pronoun. Here you is in the second person and her is the object. So, you will be changed to or converted to she. Step 5 is the change of tense. Here the reported speech is in the simple future. So, will gets converted to would. And step 6 is change of word denoting time. As there are no such kind of word, this will not apply here. Now the last function is to convert the question into a statement. After the sixth step, the sentence is, would she listen to such a person? And applying the seventh rule, the sentence will become, she would listen to such a person. And thus, finally we get the perfect sentence. He asked her if she could listen to such a person. Dear learners, let us take another more example to understand it better. The teacher asked the students, does the sun rises in the east? First step is to identify, and thus teacher is the subject, student is the object, and ask is the reporting verb. Here, asked word is in the past form, and the question is an universal truth. Thus, we don't have any change in the tense here. Now the step we have is change of reporting verb. Here, the ask is in the past form, and so there won't be any change. And the next step is to replace the inverted commas with if, as the question is an yes or no type question. Then the next step is the change of pronoun. As we do not have any pronouns here, so this step will not come. And the next step is the change of tense. As the sentence is an universal truth, so we do not have any changes in the tense. Now the sixth step is the change of words denoting time. As there are no such kinds of words, so this step also will not take place here. And thus, step 4, step 5 and step 6 will not come, as there are no such kinds of action here. And so, after the sixth step or the final sentence that we get is, the teacher asked the students if the sun rises in the east. Let us look one more example to understand in a detailed way. He says to me, do you know Shahid? Step 1 we have is to identify. So here, he is the subject, me is the object, and says is the reporting verb. And as reporting verb is in the present tense here, so there won't be any change in the tense. The next step is change of reporting verb. As says to is in the present form, it will be converted to ask in this case. The next step is to change of or the replacement of inverted commas with if, as it is a yes or no type of question. Next step we have is the change of pronouns in this case. So here, you will be converted to I. Next step we have is the change of tense here. But as the sentence is in the present form, so there won't be any change of the tense here. Please note it carefully, as you will have to remember this. And the sixth step is the change of words denoting time. But as there are no such kinds of words here, so this action also will not take place. And thus finally, after adding the additional step, which is step 7, we get the final sentence. He asked me if I know Shahid. Dear learners, I hope you are very well acquainted and very well you know already how to change or how to convert direct sentences into indirect and indirect sentences into direct. I have given you lot many examples. Now let me give you some more exercise so that you can practice daily. So please note the sentences and do practice according to the given steps. Kindly give your answers in the comment box. Dear learners, that's all in this video. Now let us quickly revise again that we have learned. So in the first case, we learned that interrogative sentence, and it's about two kinds. Interrogative sentences ask a question and ends with question marks. Interrogative sentences are also of two types. One is WH questions and the other is yes or no type of questions. Please remember these two types of question tags, which is WH question and the other is yes or no types of questions. Then we also have come through in this video about the 6-step formula of changes of direct speech to indirect speech of statements or assertive sentences. Then we also have looked into 3 different formulas or 3 key points to convert direct sentences into indirect sentences of interrogative sentences. The first step we have learned is change of reporting verb. The reporting verb will be changed in this following way. And the second key point is replacement of inverted commas with question word for the WH questions type, and secondly we learn if or whether replacement for yes or no types of questions. And the third key which is additional step 7, we learned that conversion of question into a statement. So as per to these 6 steps and 7 additional steps, we have given lot many examples to look into and to know about all its conversion and its steps. So please remember it carefully, practice the questions that I have given. So that's all for this video. Thank you. Thank you for watching the video. If you have any suggestions and any comments, please put them in the comment box. And do like if the video is very helpful, and do share it with your friends so that others also can come to know about the course.